You will be amazed at how easily and effortlessly everything comes to you because of a very simple shift. And it has nothing to do with hard work, nothing to do with effort, nothing to do with struggle or trying hard. Actually, that's what's in the way. It's that resistance, that interference, that tension that has been compounded and accumulated energetically into a sort of state of being. It's a subtle state that's so easily overlooked. Sometimes it's so normal and familiar that we can go days or weeks without noticing it at all. And yet, it is the main reason why we are in conflict, why we are struggling, why we experience lack, why we have this inner discontent and disharmony, all because of an accumulated energetic burden. It's unresolved feelings. It's undiscovered beliefs. It's unexplored inner realities. And you see, it's really just that simple. To look where you're afraid to look, to feel into what you're unwilling to face, to explore that unknown within you, and to simply just recognize that it's there. Sometimes it's difficult because it's kind of like a murky, cloudy fog. We're looking through it. We can feel something is off. We know that we're kind of getting in our own way, even though we don't really want to admit it, and we don't really know how to go about doing anything about it. And that's because, in a way, you don't really do anything about it. You simply recognize and let it go. And I know that it maybe sounds too good to be true, but I know you've experienced this many times. It's such a simple, inherent, natural mechanism. It is the simple fact of your mind's capability, possibility, to simply go from overly focused on thinking and perceiving negativity or limitation or lack, and allowing yourself to let it go. Or feeling into your current state, feeling into your body, feeling into the corners of your mind, feeling into your emotional body, and just recognizing the subtle pockets of tension, the subtle burdens of energetic weight that are being carried, all of which compounds into a rigidity, into a tension, which is the main reason why abundance stays at bay, why our relationships are in conflict, why we struggle with confusion or lack of motivation or lack of inspiration. You see, it's this inner kind of gripping, kind of groping, kind of choking of our energy. And when the energy is allowed to flow, move as it naturally wants to move, without it being encumbered or inhibited, when it's allowed to just move freely, it serves you. And you feel at ease. You feel relaxed. You feel open. You feel connected. You feel in flow. You feel there's a harmony and a unity to life. And you see, that's your natural state. That is your true self. But the reason why there's seemingly an obstacle to that in some cases, in many cases, is because of that unresolved inner energetic disharmony. And we love to overcomplicate it. We love to say that we have this circumstance or this problem or this relationship or this complicated thing in our life, which is the reason for why we don't have this, why we're not getting this, why we're struggling here, why we feel this way. But I promise you, it's so much simpler. It is that very essential, simple inner shift of surrender, of letting go, of allowing everything to be as it is and just watching it. And you can even just release more and more and make that a practice. In fact, this is sort of one of the most essential practices that I have, even more so than meditation. It's just a momentary, multiple times a day release, recognizing that I am and releasing any of the subtle tensions, any of the subtle contractions that are just building up. Not for any significant reason, but just because of the human condition, just because of the programming, just because of the nature of the mind for controlling, for getting overly involved, over-analyzing, overcompensating for what is so natural and simple to your real inner true self, which is just a flow. It is an interconnectedness with all of life. It is an allowing. It is an abundance. It is a freedom. It is a creativity and an inspiration, which is just moving you. And when you get out of the way, when you allow yourself to just release and drop all of this tension, all of this accumulated energetic burden, it's in an instant of allowing that infinite intelligence to move through you again. And this is just a very simple reminder to just take this moment now, to just let it go, release again and again and again. And the more you do that, the more you let it go, the more of your true self comes through, as if there's been handcuffs, as if there's been a straitjacket, as if there's been armor guarding it, containing it, preventing it from just shining through. And you see, that is the effect of that accumulated energetic resistance. That once you acknowledge it, once you allow it, and once you let it go, all of you comes through. And then everything comes to you. And it really is that simple. And I know you know it. But we just don't give ourselves permission often enough to remember how simple it is. And then we make life so much more complicated than it needs to be. Striving and struggling and working hard, trying to earn our way into freedom, trying to earn our way into prosperity, abundance, connection, love, joy, when it's already inherently what you are. All that's needed is the conscious recognition of what you're harboring, what you're holding on to that's just getting in the way, and then allowing it to fall away. And then harmony, unity, peace, love, joy, beauty, abundance is here and now. And the more you prioritize that letting go, that allowing, that recognizing, that aligning, the more that all of that manifests as your reality.